Mom, hello. Tell me how you're doing today. Tell me where you're from. So we are live both here on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you would do me a favor, if you can hear me well, please give me a thumbs up or a heart. I would so appreciate that. Sometimes I worry about you hearing me. So if you can't hear me well, let me know. So today, Victoria is here with me. So she's going to read the comments. So please talk to me. She's able to read the comments on both Facebook and YouTube. So talk to me. Ask me some questions as we go along. Today we are going to use one of my milk glass containers. I picked this container up at a thrift store. I love milk glass and I love all the different shapes that it comes in. And so we're going to use this container. I have taken about a half of a block of fresh floral foam. It has been soaked in water. I've placed it down in this container, and then I'm going to take some waterproof tape and I'm going to tape it in. I have not taken my sweet mama any flowers in quite a while, so I thought we would make her a pretty arrangement and I would deliver it out to her tomorrow. So I'm going to take this tape and I am just coming across this container just to make sure that the arrangement doesn't fall out. So this container has a really wide mouth, and so if you're not careful, that foam will fall out pretty easy. So I just did a crisscross across the top of that container. Now you'll want to fill this container with water. Always fill your reservoir with water because the flowers are really thirsty. I don't know if you can see Mr. Osa here today. He had to get in the video today because he's inside. It's really chilly here in Mississippi. I don't know about y'all, but it is cold. It's in the 30s right now at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so that's cold. It's really cold in Mississippi. So today we are going to work with some really pretty and fun flowers. We've got some beautiful garden spray roses. So these are white garden spray roses. A garden rose is often a really large, and it blows open. It opens really big and pretty. And these happen to be the spray variety. So we've got white spray roses. We've got some pretty white oriental lilies. They have not quite opened up completely yet, but they're going to be really pretty when they open all the way up. We've got some white hydrangeas as the base of my container or my arrangement. Let's see what else we have over here. So I asked Donna to send us some fun things, and this is a couple of the fun things that she sent me from Budsy. So I guess it was back before Christmas, we used some dyed roses. And so they came in like a gold and a silver, a deep purple, and I believe, was it a blue? Like a navy blue, like a deep dark blue. This is a tinted purple rose. They are actually, Mondal is the variety of rose, and they're tinted a really deep, beautiful, almost blue purple. Real pretty. And then we got in some Dutch iris. So I'm going to show you how to open these Dutch iris, and I thought they would be beautiful with the purples and whites. And it caught my sweater. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to start out with some greenery first. Is anybody talking to us, Victoria?
Everyone's saying hello.
Hello, guys. Welcome.
I think everyone is saying it's pretty cold where they are.
Is it cold? Yeah, I think it is rotten cold.
All over the world, it seems.
Yeah, it seems so cold. Next week we're supposed to be in the teens. I said, no, nothing good comes from being in the teens. Why would we need weather in the teens? That's just no fun. And in Mississippi, we're really not prepared for weather in the below freezing. So I'm going to take this as just some Parfolia eucalyptus, and I'm just going to take it. And you can see I'm actually just using my fingernail, and I am just breaking that little branch.
Miss Mary Lou says, hello, Monty. How are you? How is your mom doing? And I love your talk.
Thank you so much. Mama's doing really well. She's doing really well. She went to the doctor yesterday and had a checkup, and the doctor said she was doing good. She's feeling pretty good, kind of tummy upset, not feeling great with her tummy, but other than that, everything is good.
Oops, some people are having their power's going in and out.
Oh no.
Miss Kate says, oops, there went the power. We'll have to watch you later.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. So I'm just taking this eucalyptus and we're just going to stick it right down in this container to give us some whimsy. And Osa, honey, is just laid out on the counter, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's sleeping.
Miss Patricia says, look how cute Osa is.
He's so rotten. He is so rotten.
Miss Leah says, hello. I was wondering, when do you decide to do an arrangement front facing, and when do you decide to do it all around?
It really just depends on the container usually, as to whether I'm going to do it all the way around or front facing. So this would be more of a centerpiece type. So that's the reason I'm going to do it all the way around. Most often when it's in a vase, it's not usually set right in the center of a table. It's usually set like a side table or on a desk in an office. And so most of the time we usually do the flowers front facing. So it really just depends on exactly where it's going to go. I don't have my quick dip in here this afternoon, so I'm not going to dip these hydrangeas, but most of the time I will take these hydrangeas and dip them in quick dip.
Miss Frankie Winston says, hello, everybody.
Hey, Mama, they were just asking about you, and this is going to be for you, so surprise. This is a surprise arrangement for you.
Miss Carrie says, I have that same milk glass compote. Love it already.
Isn't it pretty? I love this container.
On YouTube, Sally Ray says, yay, Happy New Year. So happy to see you live.
Hello, friend. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for watching. So I'm just taking and removing all of the leaves. Go ahead and pinch those off. And I'm just kind of fluffing that little hydrangea because he was in that little plastic wrap.
Miss Carolyn Chouvrant says, purple and gray as an Osa goes very good together.
You are right. He matches really well. Okay, so there's our hydrangeas all the way around. Next we're going to come in and add a few of our little garden spray roses. So these are kind of short, but that's all right because I don't need them long. I'm going to take my floral knife and cut that stem at an angle. And then I'm just pressing that right down into that floral foam.
Miss Lenise Carter says, I thought of you last Saturday. Goodwill and Tupelo had 3 milk glass containers.
I love them. They make me happy.
Saska Atkinson asks, how are you all keeping warm? It's very cold here in the UK. Lovely to see Iris.
Well, we are probably not as cold as you are, Saska, but I've got 2 layers on. Now, the only thing is this evening I have to go and sit on a soccer field, and the temperatures is going to be in the 30s. So, how I keep warm on the soccer field is I put on an extra layer of clothes. I've got my big winter jacket, and then I will use a real cold weather sleeping bag. And so I'll take that sleeping bag, and I also will have like a little lap blanket, but I will sit down and I'll put my feet down into the sleeping bag, and then I'll sit on the sleeping bag so it comes up to here, and it's all the way around me. So it keeps the cold out. And I'm really pretty warm. I usually do not have any issues whatsoever. So look how pretty that is already. That's just garden roses and hydrangeas. Simple, simple, simple. But these little garden rose spray roses, they just blow open so big and so pretty. They really are amazing. They really are such beautiful flowers. The next flower I'm going to use are going to be these oriental lilies. Now, I know that I've told you this before, but you want to always remove the pollen from the lily. So this one has it already removed. So I'm just going to take that lily, I'm going to cut it at an angle, and I'm just going to tuck him right down in there. I love that he's kind of sticking up. He's got his buds that gives us that pretty light green. Now some of these That's just a bud. Some of these still have the stamens in. So anytime you see them, go ahead and remove them. Just pull those out with your fingers just like that. Throw them away. Now you want to do this anytime you see them. Anytime they're sticking their tongues out, it almost looks like they're sticking their little tongue out. Go ahead and pull them out. What happens is when they open up, they are going to stain this lily. Not only will they stain the lily, it'll ruin it. I mean, if the lilies get jostled around at all in the cooler, they're going to get really, really yellow down in the center. It's very hard to get that pollen out. Now, one trick to removing pollen, if it just kind of gets a little bit in there, you can take a chenille stem or what we call a pipe cleaner. I fold it in half and I just tuck it right into the lily and it picks that pollen right up. Now, if that pollen gets on your clothes, and I've said this several times, so y'all forgive me if this is a repeat, but there are new people who watch, so I always like to say it. If the pollen gets on your clothes, lay those clothes in the sunlight. And on a cold day, even like this, when the sun is pouring into the window, you don't even have to lay them outside. You can lay them just right in the sunlight on the floor, right inside. That sunlight pours in and it absorbs the pollen, which is a miracle. It's certainly a wonderful thing, but it will take that pollen right out.
Gaetana says, good afternoon, everyone. Love the compote bowl you were arranging.
Isn't it pretty?
She says, I want to go out and buy flowers and be creative, but have pneumonia and no energy. I am just fantasizing.
I'm so sorry you don't feel good, friend. We will keep you in our prayers.
Miss Rhea says, it's chilly here, so I'm wearing my cozy fleece hoodie that goes all the way down to the floor.
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? Okay, this one hasn't even opened. I'm just going to go ahead and put these buds right in here. Now, I am doing this more in a long style arrangement instead of something that's upright like I often do. When you make a centerpiece, quite often you will make something kind of long and low if it's a long table, or you might make it low and all the way around. Now, the height is going to come from the pedestal that the compote is on, but that's already very pretty. Very simple, very pretty. That's 3 different types of flowers. So very, very simple. Okay, next we're going to come in with our roses. Oh, gotta have a bath. So again, these are dyed roses. They actually came from the farm. The farm dyed them. I did not. If you look at the foliage, you can see how deep purple the foliage is, because what they'll do is they'll cut this stem and they will drop these roses down in a huge bucket or vat of flower dye, and the flowers will drink the dye and it will change the color. And that's kind of cool. It's kind of fun and different. Now this is on a Mondale rose. I really, really like a Mondale. I like a Mondale because it's a hardy rose. It's got a lot of petals. Look how pretty and open that is. And it is really a sturdy rose. It's just a really pretty, sturdy rose. So I'm going to take and cut that stem a little shorter. Look at that purple. How that purple really glows.
Facebook kicked me out, and I had to go back in. And so I know there's some comments that I just do not see. So I apologize.
Facebook just kicked you out?
Well, when I dropped it, it was
it jumped out.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Gaetana wants to know if you would make an asymmetrical arrangement in a container such as that.
I can. Yes.
Miss Carol says, I just love milk glass. It is especially a wonderful container for arrangements.
Isn't it beautiful? It is so pretty.
Miss Kathy Dickerson has a question.
Yes.
She's been trying to get her 1-year-old Christmas cactus to bloom. She says it has about 6 flowers on it. Yesterday, 1 bloom started to open. Today, it fell off. She's very upset, and she wants to know what she possibly could have been doing wrong. She says she's been watering once a week as needed. Any suggestions?
I struggle with keeping blooms blooming. I have the exact same struggle. So let me do a little bit more research, because I really honestly, when my Christmas cactus is blooming, I'm so crazy busy with the flower shop that I don't even have a chance to really think about researching. I really think it is the water. I think that we're not watering it quite enough, because mine had tons of buds, and I had probably 6 or 7 open, and then the rest of the buds just fell off. And I really think it's because it didn't get enough water. And I, like you, would water once a week. But let me do a little research and read about it real quick and see if that might have been it. But that's what I was thinking.
Miss Shabanya says, wow, so beautiful already. And Miss Carrie says her son says hi to the kitty.
Osa says hello back. Of course he has to do his bathing right up here on the video.
Miss Ruth says, for years I have hunted secondhand stores, Goodwill, etc. for milk glass. I enjoy milk glass in many ways, but as vases, it's the best.
Oh, I agree. All right, so what I've done is just taken these roses and just nestled them right down into the arrangement. Just kind of tucked those real deep. Purple is very deep color and very receding. So anytime when you're using the color purple, especially royal purple, you're going to want to use it with brighter colored flowers, because when you stand back from purple, you don't see it. It's really an interesting color. I had a wedding, I guess back a couple summers ago, and her entire color scheme was purple, and she didn't want light purple. She wanted everything to be really deep and dark. And so I was so concerned when using a royal purple, because it's so receding. It really turned out beautiful. The wedding was gorgeous, and it turned out so lovely. But you always have to be careful when designing with purple, because it is so receding. So you don't want tons of purple in an arrangement, especially like a church arrangement, because when you stand off away from it and look at the altar, you do not hardly see the purple. And so to me, you've almost wasted your money. These are blue iris, or purple. They're really purple. I'm going to show you a trick on how to get these to open. So you see it's pretty tight bud. Now it has like the little, and I'm calling this a calyx, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but it's got like these little flaps of foliage that come up around, to protect that iris. So I'm just taking those and very carefully folding those down. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to thump this iris, but I'm going to hold its head. It's kind of like a carnation. You got to hold its head. If I held it down here and thumped it, I'm going to pop his head off. So I'm going to hold his head, and I'm just going to very softly tap that iris. So what it's doing is it's just opening those petals right up. You don't want to tap hard. You're just tapping very lightly. And see how it's opened that iris right up. Bless you.
Thank you. Miss Kathy Dickerson says, thank you so much. I have a brown thumb and was so excited just to see buds.
I don't know even why I keep trying with Christmas cactuses. And it's beautiful foliage. I can't keep those dudes blooming to save my life. So again, I'm just going to take what I'm calling a calyx, and if it's not, y'all correct me, because I need to know the right term. And I'm just peeling back that little foliage that's right around those petals. Very carefully, I'm just peeling them back.
Oh, they love your trick.
Isn't that a great trick? It's a great trick. Okay, so I'm just going to take my finger and I'm tapping, tap, 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 and just opening that iris.
Miss Rhea says this arrangement would look beautiful with some purple Lysianthus.
Ooh, it sure would. I wish I had some. It would be lovely.
Miss Linda Jester wants to know, what is this for? She's missed.
It's just because I'm going to actually, so we got some surprise flowers in. You know, I asked Donna every so often to just send me a surprise. And so my surprise was the purple roses and the beautiful blue iris. They all came from, all the flowers actually came from Budsy. But this is my surprise flowers that I always enjoy getting. It's so much fun. It's kind of like the other day when I asked Victoria to pull my flowers for me, just surprise me. And so when she went in there and pulled the flowers, I love a surprise because it makes you have to be creative in a different way. And so again, I just peeled back that little calyx and I'm just going to tap him until he opens. But I love surprise flowers, and it's been a long time since we've had blue iris. I do not order them a whole lot, and it's strictly because you have to get a lot of stems and they're not terribly long lasting. So I don't order blue iris a whole lot. I do enjoy them when I get them. So
Aaron Elder wants to know if the purple dye from the roses will get onto the white flowers.
It should not. It should not. It actually did not get on my hands at all. So I don't think it will I don't think it'll get on the white flowers.
And Dawn Miller wants to know if the roses are sprayed or painted.
They are dyed, so it's completely different. It's where they will take them and place them in like large vats of dyed water. They'll use an actual floral dye, and they will allow the flowers to drink that dye. It's kind of like when we dye carnations, where you add the water to you add the dye to the water, and then they just drink it.
Lots of people are having storms going on.
And it's so windy. Isn't it strange that it's so windy?
I'm going to find it.
So again, I'm just taking those. So an iris it's almost 2 little points of greenery. And so it comes right around that bud, and it'll pinch it tight so it protects it. And so as they open up, you don't really do this until you start really seeing color. I am just taking and peeling back those 2 little points, which I'm calling a calyx, and that might not be the name of it. So y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And then I'm just taking my finger and I'm just tap, tap, tap. But you have to be very careful with an iris because they're very fragile. Like those little petals are pretty fragile.
Miss Leah says, thank you for the pollen tip, since I just got pollen on my pants and shirt yesterday.
Yes, it'll get all over you, won't it? So just take your clothes and lay them right in that sunshine. And again, it can just be the sunshine that's pouring through the window, and it will absorb the pollen.
Oh, Miss Julie says she's watching from the ER today.
Oh, Miss Julie, goodness.
Miss Margaret Lynch says, Monty, what an awesome way to open an iris.
Isn't that fun? It's so easy.
And then 2 similar questions. Miss Patricia wants to know if you need special floral dye for flowers. And Miss Lenise says, I did not know you could dye carnations. Do you have to use a special type of dye?
Okay, so you can use food grade dye. It's not going to dye them very well. It is fun to play with, and it's fun to do with the children. It takes a good bit of dye, like food grade dye, like just food coloring you can use. If you use floral dye, it's a more intense dye. I'm not exactly sure what exactly it is or how exactly it works, but it does tend to give you a much more vibrant color if you use floral dye. And they do have it. You can. I've never used it. I don't normally dye flowers. Now, I will paint them all day, but I don't normally take the time to dye them and allow the flowers to drink the water and get all the dye. But I have played with carnations and done food coloring, and tinted carnations, and even Queen Anne's lace. We went and cut Queen Anne's lace and dyed it with food coloring. So you can just play with it. It's just a lot of fun, just something different and fun to do.
Miss Carolyn Chevrant says Epsom salts is an excellent for. Ooh, dark.
Wow, that was quick, wasn't it? Maybe not.
She says Epsom salts is an excellent fertilizer for Christmas cactus and other succulents. It is magnesium, which is what the plants need.
Okay, and so when you use Epsom salt, I know that I have used it to fertilize my ferns. And so I will take 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt, place it in 1 gallon of water, and then water my ferns that way. And you do that about once a month for your ferns that are outside. Would that be the exact same ratio for your Christmas cactus? I have never fertilized my Christmas cactuses with Epsom salt. But now you have to be very careful when using it. You definitely need, especially with ferns, you definitely need 1 tablespoon, and it might be, 1 tablespoon to 1 gallon of water. You don't need, if you get too much, you'll burn the plants.
Carl and Eileen Howard say, Monty, thank you for showing us so many amazing things. Stay safe and enjoy your evening, and God bless.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. So glad you're here.
Glenda Vickers says, look at those purple roses. I love them. My
Aren't
favorite
they
color.
Pretty.
So beautiful. We used to do that to daffodils and Queen Anne's lace.
I've never done it to daffodils. We may have to play with that when the daffodils begin to bloom.
Eileen Ogden says, lovely to see Iris. We are in the heat of summer here in Brisbane, Australia. So looking forward to our spring. Pity they don't last very long.
They do not. They're not lasting flowers, but man, they're beautiful. Okay, so I added a little bit more of that Parfolia eucalyptus, and then I'm going to add just a touch of the I was going to say silver dollar, and it is not, of the baby blue eucalyptus. So I'm just taking and stripping a little bit of that foliage off the end, and I'm just going to stick just a few little sprigs here and there. Purple is my niece Allie's very favorite color. It makes her happy.
Kay Jones says, my daffodils are up about 3 inches.
Oh, wow.
Allison asks, what type of rose is it?
It is a Mondale, is the variety of rose, and it has been dyed. I think most often with all of the dyed roses that we've received from Budsy, they have been dyed. They have been, Mondale has been the variety that they use to dye. And maybe it's because it's just a pretty hardy rose. But when, back when we got them painted, y'all, those roses lasted for what? Like 6 weeks, didn't they, Victoria? 4 to 6 weeks, I think. I sent some home with you for your mom's table. How long did those painted roses last? A long time, didn't they?
We had them.
Like 4 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Like a long, long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
But they were crisp. Like when you touched them, they were crisp to the touch. And these are not. These are like the natural petals. Ooh, that eucalyptus smells so pretty.
Miss Nancy says, so elegant, Monty. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Allison says, oh, wow, I didn't realize the Mondales had those very large heads.
Yes, they're really a large, large head. I love a Mondale. Now, for my white roses for Valentine's Day, I always choose a Mondale. In the past, when I chose, so for Valentine's Day, we do 4 colors. We do white, yellow, pink, and red. Those are my 4 colors of roses. Now I'm going to do other colors in mixed arrangements, but those are the 4 that we will do dozens with. And I choose a white Mondale for my white rose every time. Used to, I would choose a pink Mondale for my pink. The problem is a pink Mondale is so pale. It's a very, very soft pink, so it's not as pretty as like a hot pink. And so we just didn't sell them like we do hot pink roses, like the Pink Floyd. So we chose to stop using the pink Mondale as our pink. But y'all, they're a hardy, beautiful rose. And even at Valentine's Day, when quality is not at its peak, the Mondale was really a quality rose.
On YouTube, Miss Joyce Benton says hello from Arkansas. She's loving this arrangement and says you guys are the best.
Thanks, Miss Joyce. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching and being here with us. Thank you so much.
Glenda Vickers says, if I was close to you, I would have to have that arrangement. It's breathtaking.
Isn't it
The iris is
beautiful?
beautiful.
Aren't the irises so fun?
Miss Margaret Lynch says, Amani, just waiting for my first daffodil to burst open. She'll send you a photo tomorrow.
Please do. I would love to see it. Daffodils are, when I was a little girl, my very favorite. So daffodils are the birth flower of March. And so when I was a little girl, my mama would take us out and we would pick daffodils. And I thought that those were the most amazing flowers ever. Until I got to handle lots of other amazing flowers, but I do love a daffodil. I do love it. All right, so this arrangement is very lovely. It did turn out prettier than I could have ever imagined. And I'm not even a purple girl, and it's very pretty. So the flowers that we used include 3 white standard hydrangeas. If you've watched me for any amount of time, you know I prefer a white hydrangea over any of the colors, not because they're prettier than any of the colors, but because they're very easy to tint, and I can paint them any color that I need. Therefore, I have every color in the rainbow when I have white hydrangeas. So I used white hydrangeas. I used white garden spray roses, which we have been getting weekly. We actually signed up with Budsy for a special, and so we get 45 garden roses, both varieties, a standard and a garden spray rose. We get those every week through March, so they have been so lovely, and I think I'm really going to miss them if we have to give those up. The white oriental lilies, we get those, well, I just order them as needed, but I love oriental lilies. They're one of my favorites in the lily varieties, just strictly because they're bigger and they're showy and they smell so lovely. The purple roses are tinted roses. The variety is a Mondale, but it's a purple tinted rose. And then blue iris. And these are Dutch iris. So often when you have irises growing in your yard, you usually will have, well, some people might have Dutch, but some people have bearded iris. Now, a bearded iris is not a really good cut flower. It's a beautiful flower, but it's not a beautiful cut flower. So you'll never see a florist ever have bearded iris. You'll always see us have more of a Dutch style iris. And these do come in other colors. They'll come in this beautiful royal purple. They'll come in a lavender, a white, and a yellow. I think the royal purple is probably my favorite. It just stands out the prettiest. And then the greenery, the choice of greenery to me is always eucalyptus. You know I'm always going to use euc. And I've got silver dot, nope, why do I keep saying that? Why do I keep saying that? This is spiral eucalyptus, or baby blue eucalyptus, and then parfolia, which is the little, why do I keep saying silver dollar? That's in my mind for some reason, but this is parfolia.
Miss Connie says, beautiful, thanks for all the information today.
Oh, you're welcome, Miss Connie, you're so welcome.
Miss Margaret Lynch says, Monty, that must be one of the most beautiful arrangements you've ever made.
Thanks, Miss Margaret. Thank you.
Allison says, curious what this would cost. Would you mind adding it up after the live and letting us know?
I don't mind at all. I'll be happy to do that.
Let's see. They're all saying it's gorgeous.
Thank you. It's so fun, and it really does. It makes you think of spring with those pretty iris, I think. But yeah, it's so much prettier than my mind would ever make it. I don't know why. I was actually looking on Pinterest. I'm always so worried that we go live every single day, and y'all are probably so tired of seeing the same arrangement every single day. And so I worry that I'm always doing the same thing. But I don't think this turned out the same at all. I think it looks very different from anything I've done before. But I'm very tickled with those purple roses. Somebody's hitting me with his tail, telling me to quit touching him. Bossy.
Miss Cheryl from Michigan says, "Hi, Monty. I'm so happy to be here live. I am a purple girl and I love iris. It is one of my favorites. I also love daffodils. 2 of my daughters carried blue iris as their wedding bouquet.
Ooh, I bet that was beautiful.
Oh, and Miss Donna asks, when they dye the roses, how do they get it to be such a solid color?
You know, Miss Donna, you got me. I have no idea. I would love to. I'm going to have to go and see if they're... Who?
Donna.
Miss Donna. Sorry about that. I may look up and see if there are any videos on how in the warehouses or in the where they dye all of the flowers. I wonder how they go about doing it. I've never seen it done, but they are amazing. They are very bold and very pretty. You know, it's very interesting though. These dyed flowers, this is one solid color, so it's dyed just one solid color. I don't think we have ever had the rainbow roses. It's just strictly a preference. It's because I don't love rainbow roses is why we very seldom carry them. But it's interesting at how with those rainbow roses, I mean, they've got 5 or 6 different colors in one rose, which I think is the neatest thing, and it's amazing. But they usually do injections where they inject the dye into those flowers, which they've got a lot of they know how to do it. It would make me nervous. But they are beautiful, Miss Donna.
They're being very sweet. Miss Sheila says she has Dutch iris from her husband's grandmother. She says she loves this.
Oh wow.
Everyone's saying they do not get tired of you. They do not get bored at all.
Well, I do worry because I know we do a lot of the same things, but that's what you do in a flower shop. You know, you often do. I mean, every single day is different. Every single occasion is often different with the style of arrangement, but I do worry that I might do the same thing too often.
Miss Rhea says she doesn't like the rainbow roses, that they're a little bit tacky in her opinion.
Well, they're not my favorite. And I'll be honest, until Donna surprising me when I said every once in a while when I tell her to send me a surprise, and she'll send me something that's way out of my comfort zone, like those painted and dyed roses that we got several months ago or a couple months ago. I was amazed by them. They were really lovely. Now you will find though, like the men would love the dyed roses, and these don't scream I am a weird color dyed rose, you know. These really look like a beautiful vibrant purple, where you and I know that roses will not come this vibrant. They won't come this purple. They will come a lavender, but they don't come this royal purple. And these are beautiful. I am very, very pleased with this color. It's just a really, really pretty, bold purple color. It's really lovely.
Miss Dawn says that I need to make an arrangement this year.
Yeah, this year?
She says she's starting now for 2024. She wants me to create a
right. They have to cheer you on. But now I don't know if you watched Miss Dawn. Victoria and Owen have really been working hard on doing lots of different little reels. So keep an eye out for those. It doesn't really show Victoria's face, but those are Victoria's hands designing those arrangements. And so I guess you've done 2 this year already of those little quick reels, which have been so lovely, by the way. So pretty. So yes,
but I can also get them.
You can get up here and do it.
I can do it.
And you enjoy it when you do.
It's fun. Miss Joyce says, "Oh no, I think all your arrangements are very beautiful. I never grow tired of watching your show. I can't begin to tell you how much I've learned just from watching you. Keep up the great work."
So thankful. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here with us. Thanks for watching.
And you have a lot of similar messages.
Oh, guys, thanks. Thank you. I'm so glad you spent the afternoon with us. So, yeah, I am so excited to take this out to show Mama. I think she'll be thrilled with this. I think she'll be happy.
I'm thrilled with it, and it's not even mine.
And it's not even yours, right? Guys, thank you so much for being here. Over here on Facebook, if you would do me a great big favor, and I haven't said this in a couple of videos now, do me a great big favor and sprinkle this video. If you have not checked us out over on YouTube, please do that. We do have a YouTube channel where we post 2 to 3 times a week brand new videos, so check us out over there. Subscribe to that channel. We also have a TikTok channel where we do quick little snippets of videos. We'd love to have you on TikTok, and we are also on Instagram. My words wouldn't come. So I am trying to build that Instagram page back up. Check us out over there. YouTube, do me a great big favor, like this video. The more you like it, the more people that see it. Facebook, do the same. Give us a like or give us a thumbs up. If you're watching this video on replay over on Facebook, put hashtag replay in the comments. We'd love to know that you are watching this on the replay. Guys, you have a wonderful afternoon. I will be back tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock to do a devotion. So come join me at 8 o'clock in the morning on Facebook. I'd love to have you there for us for the devotion. It's called Go For It, and it's written by Melissa Horvath. So I'd love to have you join me then, and I'll be back tomorrow afternoon.